Thank you, Reesh, for that awesome run. I have a $15 donation from Andrew saying, always love SGDQ, one of my favorite weeks of the year. Keep up the great work of running some of our favorite games quickly. We're gonna go to a quick ad real fast, and then I'll be right back. $15 donation from Tim and Paul. Absolutely mesmerized by Infested Reach's nail-biting run of Battle Kid. Keep up with the fantastic gaming and, of course, for the donations. $5 donation from Christian Clearly, currently MD/PhD student. You guys are heroes. Keep up the great work. Now we will be going to an interview with Infested Reach.
Except, there we go. Hey guys, welcome back to Summer Games Done Quake 2017. I am Darkman, and I am joined by my best friend, Sent, prize man for SGDQ, for GDQs. Sent, it's a pleasure as always.
Darkman, it's always great to be here. Wanted to take a few minutes and just talk to you and to the lovely folks at home about some of the awesome prizes we have coming out at this event. You know, as you may have seen, we do have this amazing computer here in front of us.
That's a computer? I just see our logo.
Oh, it's a computer, and
Okay.
we'll be delving into that a little more in depth a little bit later into the week.
Sweet.
But right now, I wanted to talk about some of the upcoming prizes we had and a little bit of an incentive we had going on.
What do we got?
So next up, we have Diddy Kong Racing. Great game. Loved it as a kid, even though apparently wasn't even supposed to be a Diddy Kong game.
Oh.
But taking us back to the 90s here, we have a copy of the game and a promotional VHS for Diddy Kong Racing. Like, I had this as a kid. I still watch it from time to time. I'm not afraid to admit that.
I mean, that's pretty cool, but like, do people still have VHS players?
I might have 3 or 4.
Okay, that's fair.
I could have a problem, I'll
Okay.
admit it.
All right.
But also, we have something pretty cool running all day today.
Mm-hmm.
We have this NES Classic.
All right.
NES
That's pretty
Classic,
legit.
pretty hard to get a hold of. And something we're trying out this event is we're going to have a kind of big prize going every single day.
Okay.
This NES Classic is going to be $50 to get in on the possibility of winning, but that's not a single donation. It doesn't have to be, because
Okay.
that is cumulative.
Okay.
So any donations you make today, work your way towards that NES Classic. Once you hit 50, you're good. You're entered in to win it.
Sweet. Can I just take
yeah.
that for myself?
Yeah.
And-
Whoa.
No? Okay.
No,
Fine.
no.
I'm
Okay.
jealous. I'm jealous of whoever wins that, by the way.
And, as always, guys, you can head over to gamesdonequick.com. You can check out the tracker. We have all kinds of information about different prizes, incentives, bid wars, all of that. You're going to find it in there. You'll also find all of the relevant sweepstakes information about these prizes and how you can win them. Make sure to check that out.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, we have some really fantastic prizes. Like, if you think the NES Classic is pretty cool, just wait until later in the event. It's going to get even cooler. So I think that's all you got for us today, Son?
That's all I got now, Darkman,
All right.
but I look forward to coming back and sharing some
Yeah.
of these great prizes you see on stage and
think-
even more you can't see right now.
I think we might see you 1, 2, or 50 more times throughout the event. So
I'm sure of it.
So that'll do it for us. Thank you very much for watching, and we are going to kick it back to the host.
All right.
All right.
We have a $100 donation from Giran Smith. I promised I would donate $100 for playing the GDQ song. Also, hopefully this motivates my pals on gamingexodus.com to donate, since I plan on matching them up to $500. $25 donation from Excessive. Shout out to Cerno TV. Hyped for this week. Much seer love. Donation goes to Announcer's Choice. Thank you. $150 donation from Coaster. Greetings from Ireland, SGDQ. So happy to be able to donate during the marathon this time around, and for such a tremendous cause. Putting this money to playing as Emily in Dishonored 2. Never made sense to me that you could play as Core 4. The game is entirely her story. Best of luck to all the runners. May the RNG be ever in your favor. $10 from UI Person. Tis my first SGDQ and I've got some spare money, so why not donate? As we are watching a speed run, we have to save the frames and kill the animals. All right. Next up, we have Diddy Kong Racing Any Percent being run by MrsGizamaluke.
Can I access your mic?
Yeah. Okay. So this is Diddy Kong Racing 80%. And I'm Giz. And I hope you guys are ready.
I'm Blake Bates.
I'm Cole Melvin.
I'm Braxton.
And timing starts when I start the game file. So 3, 2, 1, go. So the 80% category in this game is very luck-based, so I'm going to do a bit of a safe route. It's going to be a little longer, but it will have a bit more content, so we should be good. But if I am very lucky, which I can be, then I'll just abort the safe route and I'll do the fastest I can.
So the goal of the game is to beat the second Wispig race. To unlock the second Wispig race, you need to get to the last hidden level. To do that, you need 4 trophies and beat the first Wispig.
And as you can see, we're using the character TT, and he's an unlockable character, but he's cartridge-based and he's not based on the save file, so that's why we allow to use him. And he's the best character overall, so yeah. So first we're gonna go collect a couple of balloons. And one thing I'm going to do kind of soon is maybe destroy some people's childhood dream, or maybe fulfill it, I don't know. But I'll show you soon. All right.
Oh.
That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath the beach, and I'm going to go to... Okay, like that.
Nice.
And I will go to the first WizPig race, the first thing I do in the run. There you go.
There you go.
So the DKR community, we usually call WizPig Gizpig after my username. So yeah, it's the Gizpig. It's also a Franker-facing emote in my chat.
Now for a car, you want to tap the A button to increase your speed, and you want to make sure that whenever we hit a boost, we want to let go of the A button to get a better boost.
I'm just showing you the map at the moment so you can see how far ahead of WizPig I am, if people are interested in seeing how much faster than WizPig we are. This is a very difficult course, actually. I would say it's the hardest car track in the game. A lot of problems, a lot of lag, and different factors that can affect the game negatively. But yeah, a lot of bumps that can screw up your drifts. And you can fall into pits, and that's not good to do. Like that.
Like still way ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so as everyone knows, maybe, is that there's a long cutscene here, but I'm just going to reset the console so we can skip it, because the game saves as soon as that cutscene starts when WizPig is, you know, being angry for losing. So now we've beaten WizPig, and as Al said earlier, the next objective is to get the 4 trophies from the 4 different worlds, so we can enter the last world. And so we go to the first world, Dino Domain. I hope you like this world.
We do it a bunch.
Yeah. So, in the beginning of a race, you see I'm like restarting, which might look weird, but the first time you enter a race, then you can't skip the intro cutscene or like the thing like where they zoom in on the characters. So we just reset the track and then we can skip it. It saves a very small amount of time, but it adds up over the run.
Nice. Right there was a cutscene skip where you press the start button the exact frame that you cross the finish line, and it allows you to skip the cutscene of Taj giving you a balloon, which saves about 6 seconds.
Yeah, 6 seconds every time.
They're very important to get.
Yeah. And also, the first time you miss the cutscene skip, or like you get the cutscene, you can't skip like the when he flies and shows you the you know, the entire cutscene. So the first one you miss is a 23-second time loss. So it's pretty harsh.
Double single. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So I missed the cutscene. So now we will see the long cutscene. Hopefully you enjoy Taj.
Yep.
So yeah, this is what you don't want to watch in this category, basically. The guy who's supposed to help you, but he wastes all your time. All right. So now it's time for one of the harder tracks in the game, Fossil Canyon. It has many things that can go wrong. So most runners have a big fear for this level.
The strat that he's about to try is called Canyonless. It's really difficult, and you'll see.
Yeah, and as you might know, like here, it's taken from the Canyonless in SM64.
So on every track, there's bananas. Up to a cap of 10, one banana will give you about 1% of speed. So you want to collect 10 as fast as possible during the race, and then keep the 10.
Wow. All right.
Oil slicks are really common in this track, especially in the normal
in
track.
front of the zipper.
Yep.
Luckily, though, with the trophies, the CPUs will be in other positions, so they will probably don't do that. Okay, so this level, Hot Up Volcano, is very special for this run, and we will tell you more about it later, but you'll kind of soon see why, and one of the reasons why. So if you use a balloon here, and you boost some barrel roll underneath the ground, you can clip outside and clip out of bounds.
One thing you notice is he's always barrel rolling, because barrel rolling allows the plane to get at a very high speed.
Yeah. Like, it's like a small speed boost every time you do a barrel roll.
You want to make sure you're not pressing the A button while you're barrel rolling.
I can turn on the speedometer, as you can see. Oops. Oops. I was a bit cocky there. All right. So the thing is, what I missed there, it's like when you go out of bounds, you see those like indicators on the sides. They show you the checkpoints around the track, and some of them are important, and some of them aren't. And so what we do when we go out of bounds is that we want to hit the important triggers, so the game thinks that we're going in an entire lap. So that's the key of going around there.
This is the boss of the Dino domain, Tricky, the dinosaur.
Yeah, Tricky the Triceratops. This series is very interesting. At least for your left side of the joystick.
Just turn left.
Yeah. So one thing you will notice later, like very soon, is that I'm going to drift for a very long time in a row, and people might be like, but shouldn't he slide out? Is he cheating? Well, not really. I just go neutral on the stick now and then, because that will neutralize the sliding out thing. So I would just go drifting around the entire hill. And usually we go for that balloon, but it's risky because you can fall off. So I'm just not gonna do it. Okay. So yeah, it's not a very difficult boss. And as you might notice in general that we're lapping all the characters all the time, it's because this game doesn't have any rubber banding like Mario Kart games and stuff. So if you're a lot faster than the actual CPUs, then you're gonna destroy them. So the challenge in this game is not to win, it's just to be as fast as you can. There's very complex game mechanics. It's very difficult to master. And the main things to learn is to is to keep the boost speed as long as possible, because most people cut it off really short. Okay, so now that we beat the boss, we're entering the levels again, but now this time we're going to collect silver coins. So we need to collect the 8 coins in the level and win. And it makes the route a little more interesting sometimes.
One thing about the silver coins is they have pretty forgiving hitboxes, so you kind of need to come close to them, and sometimes you'll just pick them up.
Oof. Another thing we could mention is that the blue balloons that we use, we only use them as like single balloons. Okay, and we're not using like double or like triple, because you can use power-ups, but it doesn't put the power-up only extends the boost length and not the actual speed. So just chaining as many single boosts as possible is more effective.
And you'll notice that he'll skip the key because we don't need the keys in this category.
Yeah, and you'll notice why in some time. Okay, so this coin challenge is kind of difficult as well. It's not that forgiving, but it shouldn't be a huge problem. And you see that I'm collecting bananas. People might know what they do, but some people don't, so I'm just going to tell you what it does, or what they do. They basically increase your top speed and your acceleration. And I think Al mentioned it a little earlier, but because of because of that, we try to collect as many as we can early on, so we have like a higher average speed over the entire track. That's all right. I needed this coin anyways.
Nice.
That was clean. That was really good. But okay, so in this level, you saw that I was going out of bounds earlier. I will actually do that this time too, but I'm not going to do it until a little later because I need to collect the coins, right? So yeah, guess what we're going to do now? And I'm going to enter in bounds again, just because it's easier to get the cuts and skip that way. Because doing it blindly when you're out of bounds is very difficult. Okay, so it's time for the second boss race. It's kind of similar to the first one, but it's supposed to be harder, but it's not that much harder. There's one main difference, and it's that the shortcut in the middle of the mountain is not going to be used this time, because the developers were a little, I don't know what to call it, mean maybe, but they took away the zipper from inside, so it's actually slower to take the shortcut, so we're just going to go around it.
And these tall pillars are supposed to fall down, but that's only if you're behind Tricky. But since we're TT, we're never really behind Tricky.
Yeah.
All right, we did just receive a $20,000 donation. Hey y'all, Yeti here. Thanks for breaking the website and probably breaking it more after this donation. The runs have been incredible so far. It's only the beginning, but I have been loving every minute.
Swag ending, yeah. Nice. Okay. So now that we're done with the second race, we have unlocked the trophy race. So this is the journey of getting the 4 trophies, and yeah, we'll just drive there and we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're gonna see Ancient Lake again. I hope you like that track. Yeah. So this Whizpig piece of the amulet is unlocked. You know, it's gonna open the mouth of the cave thing, so you get into Whizpig 1, but as you all know, we have already completed him, so it's kind of worthless to give me that now. Maybe I can sell it for some money or something. Okay.
Just saying that we did it, hit $100,000, so that's pretty awesome.
Okay, so a couple of general things about the DKR community, maybe. You can check out the leaderboards for the speedrunning on speedrun.com/DKR. And we also have, it launched now in February. We have a website for DKR time trialing called DKR64.com. So if you like Diddy Kong Racing time trials and you haven't known where to look, then that's where you should look.
One thing you'll notice about the trophy races is there are no cutscene skips, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about them that much anymore. And also, another thing I mentioned a little earlier, but you might notice now, is that the CPUs are a bit faster in the trophy race, and that affects the pattern of the oil slicks and stuff. So we don't have to worry about getting destroyed in front of the zipper like we did last time. So yeah, basically if you want to practice this game, it's good to practice different kinds of races because the AI moves kind of similarly every time. So you can predict a lot of things by just doing the regular race and doing the trophy race. Okay, so even Jungle Falls is my favorite track, but we're going to talk about something else. So in the next track now, I mentioned earlier that Hotel Volcano was very special, and maybe you thought it was just because of the out of bounds thing, but that's actually not the case. It has something way more important for this category in it, and you will see it very soon. Right. So not only are we going to go out of bounds, we're going to do a trick. We're going to hit a loading zone that's underneath the finish line. It was randomly found by a guy called Faj, and we have just tried to check into the properties. Oh well, maybe him. Whoops. So if you drive into this loading zone here, we will end up in the overworld like this. And I mentioned in the beginning of the run that it's luck based, and in the Japanese cart, there are actually 3 different spots you can get in, and the spot I got to now is the worst one, but because that's the most common one, that's why I'm doing the safe route. So I'm glad I did.
Right now, the game is in a pretty odd state. It still thinks you're in the trophy race. So you've done 3 tracks of the trophy race. The trophy race is normally 4 races.
Exactly. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to trick the game a little bit. So as Al said, we're going to have it thinks that we're in the 4th race of the trophy. So we're just going to enter another world here. So we're just going to go to Snowflake Mountain over here. And what the game does is that when you finish this race, it won't check for you started the race in Dime Domain. No, it's going to check where you finished the race. So what does that mean? Well, it means that when I finish this race, I will actually get trophy points for the Snowflake Mountain trophy. And that means that I'm going to get the trophy for this world.
And that's the main idea behind this category, is just keep going back to Dino Domain and then replicating that trophy state and going to all the different worlds and getting the trophies from each world.
Yeah. Because as we said in the beginning, what you need to do to unlock the last world is to get all the trophies, and you need to beat Wispig. So instead of doing the entire world with unlocking with silver coins and everything, we're just gonna do this one race through the trophy storage, and there we go.
Yeah.
It looks like Time Domain, but it's actually Snowflake Mountain.
And we will have to beat an additional couple levels to make sure we have enough balloons to go into Windmill Plains.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I said it was luck-based with the wrong warp. And the other 2 things you can do is that you can go to the overworld in the previous vehicle, and you can also go to Dragon Forest, but in a plane, and that's the preferable one. But it's around 10% chance that it happens, so it's not something that's good to rely on in a marathon, But the idea with the Dragon Plane, or the Dragon Forest plane warp, is that you can fly out of bounds and enter a race early. But now we actually, now we actually have to get enough balloons so we can enter the first race of Dragon Forest. So instead of having 11 balloons that you can finish it with the regular 100% route, you now need to have 16. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do a shout out and an apology at the same time. We're going to be transporting through the hovercrafts and the hover challenge, and I'm going to exit it because I don't want to do it because I hate it. No, it's because you don't need to do it. And DKR Patty, and one of my friends in the DKR community, it's his favorite race, so I'm sorry. You can read some donations if you want to.
Okay, I have a $10 donation from Sarah and Eric. So proud to watch my brother do his second run at a GDQ event. We are cheering you on from Sweden and wish you all the best luck.
Thank you.
$300 from Stone Cold Hard 12.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Shoutouts to Diddy Kong Racing community and one of my all-time favorite runners, Giz, for running Diddy Kong Racing at this GDQ. It's for a wonderful cause. That is what makes all of the speedrunners having a caring heart for everything that Doctors Without Borders does. This donation is going towards getting the new rainbow coin for the Donkey Kong 64 No Levels early run.
Awesome. $50 donation from I'm Gonna Wreck It 1.
First-time donator, long-time watcher. Diddy Kong Racing is the reason I got into speedrunning and still watch today. Shoutouts to Giz for keeping the community amazing, and good luck on the run. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Thanks. So yeah, I hope you like Time Domain, because we're going to see it a couple of times. So like these jumps are very difficult to get, because they are usually, like, depends on lag and depends on the angle you enter the zipper and stuff like that. And there are a lot of things in this game that are very complicated. But that's one of the things that has kept me playing this game for so long, is that like the skill ceiling is unlimited, basically. So we just keep playing and playing and playing. We get better and better and better, and the races go down in time. But it always feels like, we can always do this better. So yeah, and shout outs to other top players like Obayo and Tofu for like a Nordic boa, and keep just pushing the game down.
I have another $300 donation from Olympus72. Yo, Giz, good luck on the run. Looking forward to seeing you and the rest of the crew later this week. Haven't donated before, so I'm donating $100 for each SGDQ I've watched. Put this towards Runner's Choice.
Awesome, Olympus. So let's see what luck we have this time. Okay, the worst one again. That's fine. So now we're going to go to Sherbet Island. And the thing is, we need to have 16 balloons. So we're going to get the trophy in Sherbet, and then we're also going to do 2 additional races. So we're going to enter Whale Bay because it's the shortest race that's accessible in this world. Because technically, Treasure Caves is actually a shorter race, but you need 16 balloons to get in there, so you can't actually do it. So we just have to do this one. But
this is one of the few tracks where you don't get 10 bananas because they're just too far out of the way, and it's a pretty short track.
And one of 2 courses where you don't press start, restart in the beginning.
Yeah, that's right. So as you can see, like when I'm doing my movements with the hovercraft, I'm like wiggling back and forth. It's a technique called snaking. And the reason we're doing it is that because when you're turning in a hovercraft, while holding the R button, like if you turn slightly, it will actually increase your speed a little. Whoops. All right. So what we do is that we just turn back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to, to keep the speed from the turn, but we still go in a straight line. So it's going to be fast.
And that's trophy 2.
Yeah, trophy 2. Another Dino Domain. But yeah, now we're going to do Whale Bay again, because it's it's short, and we need another balloon. And of course, if we're going to play some hovercrafts, we should do some shoutouts to the hover gods of this game. Brendan Banks and Stacey Needham. Brendan Banks is the time trial champion in this game, actually. Has most world records out of all players. With 39 world records, which is very impressive. I only hold 37 myself, so. Okay.
Nice.
One thing we haven't mentioned yet, which might be interesting for some people, is that the world record, and the world record is 39:51, and it's held by me. I got it a couple of weeks ago, and it was good timing, I guess, for the event. It's kind of me and another runner from the United States. He called Tofu. Him and I are usually battling back and forth with the world records in 90% and 100%. But yeah, I'm not from the United States, I'm from Sweden, so. All right. That's at least the last cutscene skip we have to do in this run. So, yeah.
And that's the last balloon we need for the run, too.
Yeah. So that's the last balloon. So now we just need to collect two more trophies. And first we have to do the the Dino Domain one. So we're just going to play through it this time, and we're not going to use the wrong warp because it's kind of necessary to do. Well, I'm doing some shouting outs as well, like with my team Sweden, with Habbe and Kalle W, which are great players. And I have to say it, but the guy on the right here, Blake, he has the fastest time in Ancient Lake in this level, and he likes to brag about that. It's suiting that his name is Blake, right? So Ancient Blake, let's go.
There's an emote for that at FFC.
Yeah.
Please no.
So yeah, we can have another donation if you want to.
All right, we have $175.45 from Cody CX. What's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator? One will see you in a while, and the other will see you later. $150 from Arbiter Sands. I've been waiting all summer for this week. Love watching SGDQ every year, especially now that my son is starting to get into it as well. Thanks to all the runners for donating their time for such a great cause.
So yeah, that ending part is very difficult with all the bumps. So it's pretty common that you bonk if you don't take it really easy. And it's not fun to take it that easy.
I have a $50 donation from Silence Erupts 90. Hey Giz, hope you have an amazing time in America as well as an amazing run. Make sure you take out Gizpig. Donation to Runner's Choice.
Thank you. Shout out to my first ever subscriber, Silence Erupts. I can turn on the speedometer if you want to see how fast you're going.
This track's a good representation of how to keep your speed throughout the whole entire course. You will notice he only loses his speed for a very short amount of time.
Right? So this time we're actually going to finish Hot Top Volcano because we need the Dragon Trophy. No, the Dino Trophy, I mean. You can actually do a slightly faster strat for this level, but if you miss it, you risk losing a lot of time. So, and it only saves around a second and a half to do it. So, I'm just not going to risk it. And one thing we can also talk about this game is that the music is really great, and it keeps you motivated to play through the entire run. Wait, did I miss it? Okay. So, but one thing that's a bit sad about the music is that when you do time trialing and stuff, usually turn off this game sound because the in-game sound actually creates lag. on some levels. So in general, it's slightly faster to play without music. So if you see like time trials and stuff, it's usually without sound. And also the category all trophy races is usually without sound as well. But the 100% and the 100% categories are usually with sound because, well, almost always, because you need to reset the console a bunch of times. So, yeah. Then you would have to turn off the game sound every single time you reset, and that's not going to save enough time. So you're going to lose time on doing that. I've tried.
And it's funny because some tracks actually are faster with music on.
Yeah.
Just due to lag.
Yeah, so it's really weird sometimes. Like sometimes it's good to like save lag, and sometimes it's good to not have it. So yeah, it's a very unpredictable game in many aspects, but it's a very good game, and I would recommend people to try to learn how to become good at it because it's a very deep game, and it's like it can be pushed way further than it's pushed right now, but we're trying as good as we can. And another thing like about balloons is that one thing you like might see is we basically aren't using like any kind of balloons except the blue ones. It's because it's because they're kind of useless. Like you don't really have any. You don't really do anything with the other ones. The one like there are two that are good sometimes, like very situational. But the shield is good sometimes. For example, in Jungle Falls, actually on lap 2, and I can tell. Wow, right, that's not too bad. Nice. I can show you where it is. And also, the magnet can be good sometimes in hovercraft because you lose speed when you're in the air for too long. So sometimes you can use a magnet to get down to the ground as fast as possible. But it's very situational and very rarely used.
Another thing in this game, in car, whenever you're in the air, you keep your speed. So if you hit a boost and then are airborne, you'll keep that boost speed for longer compared to just driving on the ground.
Yeah.
So that jump right there, he's purposely hitting that to keep in the air longer, to keep that boost for longer.
So let's see which wrong warp we get this time.
Probably overworld.
Overworld. That's going to lose me like 10 seconds. So it's probably that one. All right. We got the same one every time. It's a little boring, but that's how it is. Okay, so the only level we can enter is windmill plains. So we just have to deal with that. It's the longest level in the world, but yeah. Or maybe it isn't. So this level has a very difficult trick that I'm going to try to do. That will save me a bunch of time. But yeah, it's very difficult to do. All right, nice. So that out of bounds trick is very difficult, and yeah, required a lot of practice to get. And you can see, like the out of bounds route is also a lot harder than like Hot Volcano, where it just goes back and forth. Here you have to avoid like getting back in bounds, and there are like areas that are deloading and stuff like that. So you have to kind of know where the map loads and deloads while you're trying to go fast. Because the speed is kind of high in the plane, because you're using the barrels. That was solid. Nice. So now we have all the trophies. So we can actually go to the last world now. Cool, right? But there's actually a little problem right here. And it's that we only have 16 balloons, and to do the races in Future Funland, you need 39. And you also need to beat all the minigames to open the TT door that opens the door to the final boss. So yeah, basically we're going to try to avoid that as good as we can. And we're going to talk to a little friend of ours. And hopefully he will help us out.
Is he really a friend?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see after this if he's a friend or not. So yeah, flying into space with a lighthouse. So we're going to talk to this guy. An awkward meeting.
He looks familiar.
Yeah. So we're going to lure him into this cave right here. Let's see what he thinks about that. So it might look a little weird that we try to lure him in here. But as you can see, like, we're actually progressing towards this tunnel where the trophy race is. And yeah, in here, we want to see if he can help us out or not. It's a slightly repetitive trick, but you know. All right, okay, so the idea is that we want him to get in a good position. It's very hard to do it correctly. Like, we don't really know exactly how to set him up correctly, so we have to be a bit lucky. So hopefully it doesn't take too much time. Oh, whoops. Oh. And there we go.
That trick is very difficult.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's time for the final boss of the game. So yeah, we didn't have to do Future Funland. We just let our buddy slap us as hard as he could, so we flew over the wall. So basically, like, he stood up on that ceiling, as you saw, and he climbs up really fast and climbs down really fast, so like falls down. And he like transfers the momentum over to you and you fly away. So the time comes up when I finish the race.
Time for the last out of bounds of the game. Nice.
Like, this one's a little trickier when it comes to the triggers because in bosses they take away the indicators, so we can't really know exactly if you're doing it correctly, but we should be good.
So time will be coming up in a few seconds.
And time.
Wow.
And that is Diddy Kong Racing 100%. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Giz, for the Diddy Kong Racing run. I'm going to be off the mic, but I'll be passing it off to Purple Ghost Casper.